Hello and welcome to my course, Build Twitter Bots with Python, Django and Tweepy. This is a hands-on course that will equip you with the skills to build Twitter bots for fun and business. My name is Yusuf Basambe Anyanzo. In this chapter, I'm going to show you how to set up your development environment. I will take you through the process of installing Python, virtual environment, setting up our bot project folder, and installing our Visual Studio Code editor. In this video, I'm going to show you how to download and install Python. Go to python.org and then go to Downloads menu. You'll see the button for downloading the latest stable release for Python. At the time of recording this video, the latest stable release is Python 3.9.7. I'll go ahead and click the button. My download is complete. I'll go to the Downloads folder. I will run the installer and I'll click the continue button, continue, I'll click continue, I'll click agree, I'll click continue, and then I'm not going to click the install button because I've already installed Python on my local machine. Please go ahead and install Python. See you in the next video where I'll show you how to install Visual Studio Code. In this video, I'm going to show you how to download and install Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code is my favorite editor because it's free and it supports rapid Python development. If you are an experienced programmer, then go ahead and use your favorite editor. But if you are new to programming, just follow through and download Visual Studio Code. I'll go ahead and click download and then I'll click mark. I will wait for my download to complete. Our download is complete, so I'll go to the downloads folder. I'll go to show in Finder. I will unzip this file. I will start our Visual Studio Code. I'll click open. Here is our Visual Studio Code. See you in the next video where I'll show you how to verify the Python software that we installed in the last video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to verify the version of Python installed on your machine. To do that, go to Terminal, New Terminal, and then type this is the version of Python that has been installed on my machine. See you in the next video where I'll show you how to install a virtual environment on your machine. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a virtual environment. A virtual environment helps us to create and manage separate environments for our Python projects because Python uses so many libraries, and this can cause conflicts between the different libraries with your local machine and also between the different projects. That's why we use a virtual environment to be able to go around that. I'll show you how to install a virtual environment, and to do that, type pip3 install virtual env. Okay, I've already installed virtual environment on my machine, but this is how you install the virtual environment when you're running Python 3. You just type pip3 install virtual env and virtual environment will be installed on your machine. See you in the next chapter where I'm going to show you how to install Django. To install Python on your Windows system, go to python.org, downloads, and then Windows. Okay, and even when you come here under downloads, by default, the system has already identified that I'm using a Windows machine, and I can directly click here to download Python. At the time of recording this video, the latest version is 3.96, so I'll go directly and click this download button. You just need to follow through the prompts to install Python on Windows. Here is our Python launcher. So the only thing we need to do is to make sure we've checked all these boxes. Install launcher for all users. Add Python 3.9 to path so that we have Python on our path. Then you just click install now. Our setup was successful. The next thing we need to do is to install our integrated development environment. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install a virtual environment. A virtual environment is used to manage Python packages for different projects. Using virtual environment allows you to avoid installing Python packages globally, which could break your system tools or other projects. To install virtual environment, you need to type Python . So first of all, we upgrade pip. Then we type pip install virtual env. So virtual environment is already installed on my side, so I just need to activate it, and I'll show you in the later chapters on how we'll use virtual environment. In this chapter, I'm going to show you how to install Django on your machine. Django is a high-level Python web framework that encourages rapid development. Django comes by default with SQLite 3 database. In this course, I'm going to show you how to install Postgres and migrating from SQLite 3 to Postgres database. I'll show you how to run commands like run server and also to run migration commands. Before we proceed, I would like us to install pip. So I'll use this command here to install pip. And then I'll type Python 3 get pip.py. Okay, then the next thing I need to do is to verify the version of pip that I've installed. Okay, I have pip. This is the version that I have, pip 21.1.1. So to install Django, I need to type Python Python 3 minus m pip install Django. That's how you install Django on your local machine. So make sure you have that. Until now, you see the message that you've successfully installed Django. That's all. See you in the next video where I'll show you how to create the Django project folder. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create our Django Twitter bot project. And to do that, I'll type and then I'll press enter. And then I'll get into our Django project. And then I'll type ls. You can see the folder is empty. So the next thing I need to do is to make sure that we have a virtual environment folder in our Django project folder. And to do that, I'll type. So venv is going to be the name of the folder that is going to hold our virtual environment. Now, when I type ls, you'll be able to see now we do have our virtual environment folder in our Django project folder. See you in the next video where I'll show you how to create our Django project. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a Django project. A Django project is going to form the foundation for our Twitter bot. So we are just using its rapid development abilities to develop our Twitter bot. The first thing that I need to do is to log in to our virtual environment, and to do that, I just need to activate our virtual environment. Then the next thing I need to do is to first of all confirm that we have Django installed, and to do that I'll run So you'll notice that we have a message that there's no module named Django. You're wondering, the last time we did install Django, but right now we cannot see it. It means when we installed last time, that one was installed on our machine. But now, since we've installed a virtual environment, we also need to install Django on the virtual environment, because now that's the version of Django that we are going to use for the bot. Remember, the experience that we get from a virtual environment, it gives a separate development environment for our Python project. So that's why now you're not seeing Django installed. So I'll need to install Django on this virtual environment before I proceed to create our Django project. And to do that, I will type the following: Python pip install Django. Now, when I run this command to check the Python version, I should be able to get my Python version is Python 3.2.7. So I'll go ahead and create our Django project, and I'll type Django admin start project LR bot. That's the name of our bot or our Django project. I misspelled here. I'll press enter. I'll type ls again just to see the files that are inside my main Django folder that I created. Okay, now you can see we have two folders, LR bot and the venv folder for the virtual environment. I'll just get into the LR bot folder so that you see the files and folders that are there. And then I'll type ls. Okay, you can see we have another subfolder by the name lrbot, and also we have another file, manage.py. Manage.py file enables us to run commands, different commands, like when I want to create a new user, when I want to run my bots, I'll be using the manage.py command, or rather the manage.py file to be able to run those commands. So I'll also just get into the subfolder to see what is there. Okay, so those are the files that we have there inside the lrbot folder. See you in the next video where I'll show you how to run the Django project so that we can start accessing the admin dashboard and the different folders that we have in Django. In this video, I'm going to show you how to run our Django project. Remember, our Django project is our Twitter project. And to do that, the first thing I need to do is to log into our Django project folder. This is the main project folder that we created. Mine is Django Twitter bot. So I'll just log into my Django Twitter bot folder. And now the next thing I need to do is just to find out what files and folders are there. So I can see I have my venv folder and I have my lrbot folder. So the next thing to do, I need you to, first of all, because now we want to see our files, so make sure you come and open a folder. Now the folder that we do have, the Django Tweetabot folder that we do have, so that we can have the files listed on this other side, so that we can see what we are dealing with and the code that we have. Mine, I'll do a shortcut and I'll do code. So I believe there's a shortcut on how to do this on Windows and also on Linux machines. So you can search online on how, when you enter code and then you do a dot, it opens the project. So I'll do that. Okay, and you'll see a new Visual Studio Code with our project. Now you can see, here is our project, here is our virtual environment folder, and here is our main Django project folder that has everything. Now, the next thing that I need to do is to, I need to first of all activate, again, I just need to activate our virtual environment. Remember, we have the virtual environment in that location. That's why I'm running it. If you run and you get an error, then it means you're in a wrong location. So I've activated my virtual environment. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is to run our Django project. And to do that, I'll just do Python manage.py run server. Remember, you can only run this command where in the location where we have the manage.py file. I'll just delete first so that we confirm that we have manage.py file in that location. Okay, meaning I was going to get an error, so I'm going to get into the lrbot folder. Okay, and now when I run Python manage.py run server, my Django project is here. I can now click on this link. I'm clicking command on my keyboard, but if you're using a Windows machine, by just clicking control and then clicking on this link, you should be able to open the landing page for our Django project. So you can see this is our landing page, but you can see there's nothing else you can do. But as long as you get that it has been successfully installed, that means that you've done a good job and you've been able to install Django on your virtual environment. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to create a user so that we can access the admin section for our Django project. And to do that, I'll do Control-C to break the server. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to run the command Python manage.py create super user. Create super user. Okay, what happened? Okay, so I need to first of all let me run migrations, Python manage.py make migrations, and then Python manage.py migrate. So I'm creating the database. I'll show where the database settings are. Python manage.py migrate, not migrations, sorry. Okay, now we should be able to create our user, create super user. Okay, so I'm going to leave it blank to use my default name, and then email address, I'll say okay, then I'll press enter, and then I'll type my password. I'll confirm my password. Now I've created my user. Now I'm going to run again the command run server so that we can access the admin dashboard. Okay, so I'll click this link while holding the command key. Okay, you can still see we have it. We have our landing page, and now I'll put admin so that I can access the admin section. You can see this is the Django admin section, and I'll just use the same credentials I created to log into Django admin section, and I'll do that, and then I'll press enter. Now you can see here is our Django admin section. I can add users, I can add groups, but there's nothing much. But now, since we are going ahead and working on our bot, I'll show you how we are going to access the admin section so that we can add filter words that will be used for our Twitter bot. See you in the next video, where I'm going to show you how to install Postgres and pgadmin, and how we'll switch from SQLite, which is the current database backend, to Postgres database. In this video, I'm going to show you how to change our Django project database from SQLite to Postgres. When you go to settings.py file, you'll be able to see the database settings, and you can see we have SQLite 3. So this is optional. You can change or not to change, but since we'll be dealing with a lot of data, that's why now we'll switch to Postgres database. So to install Postgres, just go to the main Postgres homepage website. So I'll go and open the postgres.org website, and then what you need to do is to look for the installer that is appropriate for your system. Okay, so if you have a Mac, go ahead and install. If you have Windows, go ahead and install. And if you have Linux, also go ahead and install. Just follow through the instructions on how to install Postgres via command line when you are using Linux. So it's very simple. It's a quick installer. Either way, if you just download and follow through the prompts, you should be able to complete the installation. What you need to remember is that remember the username and password that you set on Postgres. Make sure you save it in on a file so that we can use it to access the databases that we are going to create in Postgres. So make sure you have this installed. Okay, and then the next thing that you need to install is a graphical user interface for accessing Postgres, and we use something called pgadmin. This is the graphical user interface that we use for accessing Postgres. So the same thing, just go ahead and download. Let me check the download menu. So if you're using Mac OS, make sure this is what you install. If you're using Windows, make sure this is what you're going to install. And also for Linux, these instructions on how to install pgadmin on Linux. So I'm not going to install these two softwares because I've already installed them on my system. If you can, once you complete installation, the next thing I want you to do is to open pgadmin, and also pgadmin has a password, so make sure you have the username and password for the pgadmin, so that because you can't access it if you don't have your password for pgadmin. Okay, and once you access pgadmin, what you need to do, you'll see servers. Okay, and once you see servers, the next thing you do is you're going to create a server group, or if there's any that already is existing, you can use any existing server group. For example, let's see, for me I have this server group. Let me see if I can see. Okay, so let me see my password. I'll get my password. Okay, so yeah, that's why it's very important. And if when accessing on the servers, you must have access to your Postgres user and Postgres password to be able to open any of the servers that you create. Okay, so what you'll do, you'll just come here, create server, and then of course now here under name you're going to enter your server name. So you can say lrbot, and then under connection here you'll say localhost, and then port, it will remain default 5432. Maintenance database, you can just leave it that way. And then the username, remember I told you you must remember the username that you use for creating your Postgres database. So for me, I'm just using the default Postgres database username and then my password. And then once you click save, you should be able now to see this your Postgres database. You'll be able to see that. Okay, and you'll be able to see the default database, and then this one Postgres, you'll be able to see the default Postgres database. And then once you see that, so like you need to create your own database. So you'll right click, I'll right click there, and I'll click lrbot, and then owner is just going to be the Postgres user access details, and then I'll just click save. Okay, and then you can see here is my database. Here is our database tables. Right now it's empty, so in the next videos I'll show you how to populate the tables, but for now I'm just going to show you how to switch from SQLite to Postgres database. So I'll go to settings.py file. I'm going to comment this line of code. Okay, and then I'm going to type databases, just type along. I'll type default, and then engine, Django.db.backends.postgres. So we're going to have Postgres SQL as our database engine, and then of course the name for our database, I named mine as lrbot in small letters. So make sure yours is also in small letters. And then user for me is going to be Postgres. And then password. So make sure you type in your password. And then I'll type the port, default port is going to be 5432. Okay, then I'm going to save. I'm going to save all. Now what I need to do is I need to cancel this server that is running. I need to again run migrations. You remember we did migrations, but we did that on SQLite. So I need to run migrations on our Postgres database, and to do that I'll type python manage.py make migrations. Okay, so there's something I need to install psychopg2, and to do that I'll type pip install. I need to install the psychopg library, and I'll install this specific version, because this one is the one that doesn't clash with my system. But if you have a new system, what you just need to do is just to type pip install psychopg2, and that's enough. But for me, I'll have to target a specific version of psychopg, version 2.8.6, and then I'll press enter. And this is the library that helps us to access Postgres. So now I'll do make migrations, and then I'll run migrate. Now I'll need to again create a new user, because we are switching from the old database. Now we are pointing it to a new database. So I'll do python my.py create super user. I'll leave it blank, and then my email address, and then password. I'll enter password again. Yes. Now the next thing I need to do is just to run server. Okay, and then now I'll click command, and I'll click this link. Okay, meaning our Django project has not broken. Now I'll just go to admin, to the site administration. I'll type Mac, and then I'll type my password. Let's see. Okay, so you can see I managed to access with the correct credentials. These are now Django admin credentials and not the Postgres database credentials. Make sure you know the difference. That's why I've managed to log in by creating a new super user with new credentials that I've managed now to log into our Django admin section. That's all. See you in the next video. In this chapter, I'll show you how to create Django models and install Python libraries, including the Tweepy library. Tweepy is an easy-to-use Python library that gives us access to the Twitter API. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create models. Models are basically tables in Django. And to do that, I'm going to first of all create an app in our Django project. So I'll make sure I have the manage.py file so that I can run commands. So I'll go and make sure I can see manage.py. Okay, so that's my manage.py file. Now the next thing I need to do is to run python manage.py startup bot. So that is the name of our app. You can see it's not appearing here right now, but when I run it, you'll see a new folder will be added here with the name bot. Okay, so you can see we have the bot folder. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is to check if it has a models.py file. Here it is. So I'm going to populate this file with my models. The first model I'm going to add is the tweet lookup word. Of course, this is the table that will hold the keywords that will be used in searching the tweets that my system will download. I'll name it as tweet lookup word. And then I'll have it as models dot model with a capital M. And then it will only have one field named keyword, and I'll have it as models dot char field. So it's going to be a character field, and I'm going to optimize my database to have a maximum length of 255 characters. Okay. The next table that I'm going to create is for bad words. Okay, so I need to filter out bad words so that I don't download bad words, or I don't download and retweet or like bad words. So I need to look up bad word. Okay, and then I'm going to do models dot model. And then it's also going to have just one field, also keyword, models dot char field, and I'll do the same optimization. Max length to be 255, and then I also need a table where I can get tweets that have been geotagged. Okay, so if I want to go specific to a certain location, I can do that, and I'll look up coordinates. So I'll save the coordinates on this table. Do the same models dot model, and then this one will have the value field, only one field. Okay, and I'll set the field type to text field. And then the next one is I want to be able to send any new person who is following me. I want to send them a welcome message, and to do that, I'll do class outbound direct message models dot model, and then it will only have one field, also message models dot text field. And then I also need to be able to track the last follower. This one will really help, especially when sending the welcome message. I need to be able to tell who the last follower is, so that I don't send a welcome message to people who we've connected for a long time. So this one will only apply to new followers. So I'll do class last follower models dot model, and then I'll do last follow ID. So this is going to be the field name. Okay, so it's going to models dot positive big integer field. And then lastly, it's going to be class inbound direct message. So I need to be able to download inbound direct messages. Okay. Models dot model. and this will capture different fields like the sender name, models dot character field, 255, and then I also need to capture the message, and it's going to be models dot text field. I also need to know when it was sent on, and I'll capture it as models dot date time field. Okay, so we have our database tables here. I'm going to save all, and then I'm going to run migrations so that it appears in our Postgres database. If you can remember, let's just go back. We've got no tables in our Postgres database. It's empty. Okay, even when you refresh, our LR bot database is empty. So I'm just going back to, now I'm going to populate the database in Postgres. I'll do that by doing python manage.py, make migrations. And then I'll do python manage.py migrate. Okay, let's see. Okay, I need to confirm in the settings.py. Need to save all. Let's see, settings.py file. We need to have alert bots. We need to have bot listed under installed apps. I'll add bot, and then I'll click save all. I'll run again. Okay, now you can see migrations, they've populated, and then now I'll run migrate. Okay, now I'll go to my PG admin. I'll refresh the tables. You can see my tables have been populated. I have the inbound direct message, last follower, outbound direct message, tweet lookup word, tweet lookup coordinates, and tweet lookup word. These are the database tables that have been created. That's all. See you in the next video where I'm going to show you how to register models in our admin dashboard. In this video, I'm going to show you how to register models on the admin dashboard. You can see here, we only have these models for users and groups and nothing else. So we've created our models. Those are about 5 models, but they're not showing up on our dashboard. To do that, we need to register our models, and I'll go back to our project and then go to admin.py in the bot app. You can see right now it's empty. So what we need to do is to register, and I'll do from models, from .models import all. Okay, so I'm importing everything from this models file. So I'm getting all these models, and then this is how I'm going to register. I will only do for models only. So I'll do admin.site.register tweet lookup word, and then I'll do admin.site.register. I'll put tweet lookup word, and then I'll do admin.site.register. This one will be outbound direct message, and then lastly, I'll only do for admin.site.register tweet lookup coordinates. Okay, so I'll save all, and then I'll run again. So I'm going to run python manage.py run server. Okay, then I'm going to log into our dashboard. I'll do admin. You can see our app is appearing here, and these are our databases. So we have a form that we can enter directly. So for example, tweet lookup words. So I can have a keyword like I can say Masai Mara, okay, in my keyword, and then I can click save. Okay, so that's how we register models in the admin dashboard. We just make sure we add all the models in the admin.py file in that specific app. That's all. In the next video, I'll show you how to install libraries. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install libraries. So to do that, I'm going to interrupt my server, and then I'm going to check the libraries that are already installed. And to do that, I just need to do pip freeze. You can see I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 libraries installed. So I need to save those libraries in requirements.txt file, and I'll do pip freeze requirements.txt. Okay, so a txt file has been created here with a list of libraries that have been installed. So I'm going to add more libraries here. The list, I'll update the list with more libraries. Here are the extra libraries that we need to install, so make sure you have them installed. I'll not go into the specifics of what each does, but the requests file, this one helps us to do HTTP requests. Okay, so it's a very important file to have. The other important library to have is the Tweepy library. This one gives us easy access to the Twitter API. So make sure you have Tweepy, you have requests, and all these other libraries. Okay, to install a library, you can just type pip install Tweepy, and I can just target a specific version, Tweepy 3.10.0. So I can do that manually. Okay, and you'll see it will be installed. Okay, once done, you'll see it has been successfully installed. So I'll just save all. And then, so we've just installed about 6 out of the libraries that we need to install. To install all the libraries, I need to type pip install requirements.txt. Okay, now it's installing all the files. Now I'll just run pip freeze again to confirm that all of them have been installed. You can see all the libraries have been installed. So go ahead and make sure that you have all the libraries installed. See you in the next video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a bot that likes tweets. So we are going to have it as Django management commands, and I'll have it in the bot app. I'm going to create a new folder, management, and then I'll add a subfolder, commands. And inside the commands subfolder, I'm going to create a new file, and I'll name it like tweets.py, then I'll press enter. The first thing that I need to do is to import the base command, which is the base class from which all management commands ultimately derive. Okay, so from django.co.management.base import base command. Then I need to import Tweepy. Tweepy is an easy to use Python library for accessing the Twitter API. You remember we installed it in the previous videos. Import Tweepy. And then I need to import my database tables, and to do that I'll do from bot.models import tweet lookup bad word. So I'm going to filter the tweets that I'm going to like. If they have bad words, then I'm not going to like those tweets. Okay, so and then tweet lookup word. So these are the good words, like a destination, a tour destination. So I can have like Yosemite, I can have a place like Grand Canyon, okay, in my good words. Okay, then I'll do tweet lookup coordinates. So I'd like you to relate it to the models that we have here. Here is the list of models that I created. Okay, then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to import authentication. So from bot.utils import get authentication. Okay, so if you go to the utils.py file, you'll see the get auth API function that I created. The next thing I'm going to do is to create my class, and I'll name it class my stream listener. It's going to be an instance of tweepy.stream, which establishes a streaming session and routes messages to stream listener instance. So tweepy.stream listener. I'm going to initialize attributes and methods of our class by having this function here, init, and then it's for my class. Okay, so I'll delete that. And then I'm going to create a new variable, bad words. So all bad words, I'll have a list of all bad words in this variable, and I'll check the bad words from the tweet lookup bad word table. Okay, I'll get all the objects from that table, all the fields. So I'll use values lists, and then in that table I only have one field, the keyword field. And then since it's a query set, I'll set it to true. And then I'm going to initialize the constructor so that from my stream listener class, and I'll use the super keyword. I'll add my stream listener class here, my stream listener, and then I'll do self, and then I'll delete this part here. Then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add a method on connect method, and this one is from Tweepy, and this method is called after successfully connecting to the streaming API. So on connect self, and then the only thing I want is to print on my console that I've connected to Twitter API. Then I want to bring another method, and that method is on status. And this method is called when a status is received. A status is a tweet, okay? So it's going to be self status. The next thing I'm going to do, I'll create a new variable tweet ID, and this tweet ID variable is going to store all tweet IDs. So remember, status is a tweet, so status.id. I would like to share with you the concept of extended tweets, and I'll just take you to the Twitter JSON, and you can see with extended tweets, previously the text were just 140, and we used to have the text field or the text object storing the tweets. Now with 280 characters, with the ability to have 280 characters, the new fields were added. Okay, so we have the extended tweets, and it's stored in the full text object. Okay, so whenever truncated is set to true, it means that post or that tweet has more than 140 characters, and therefore it's an extended tweet. So when it's false, we'll use this text object. When it's true, and also have the full text object, okay, so that we can capture the more than 140 characters in the tweet. And if I can go back, this is how I'm going to capture the status. Okay, so it will be if tweet is truncated. So normally when it's truncated, it means it's more than 140 characters. So if it's true, then tweet text. So I'll introduce this variable tweet text. So tweet text is equals to status dot extended tweet. So this is a Tweepy method, and of course remember I'm capturing the full text object from the Twitter JSON. Tweet text is here, full text object is here. Okay, so that's what I'm capturing. And then else, so it's an if else statement. Else tweet text is just equals to status dot text. Okay, so if it's not extended, we are just going to capture these text objects. Okay, then if a tweet is not a retweet, okay, so this is how you get to know if a tweet is a retweet or not, by checking the retweeted status. This is a Tweepy method. Okay, then we loop through the bad word. For bad word, in self dot bad words, then if bad word in tweet text. Okay, if there's any bad word in tweet text, here's a tweet text, either the text or full text. If there's any bad word, then we're going to break our loop. I need to add that. Then we're going to break our loop. If not, then we're going to proceed and like that tweet. So if it's not a retweet, and there are no bad words, then we're going to proceed and like that tweet. So first of all, I'll authenticate the user, and then from the response, that's what I want to like. I want to like the response. That's the result. I'm going to do create favorite, then tweet ID. Okay, create favorite is a Tweepy method. We can check here, create favorite. create favorites. You can check here, this is a Tweepy method. So when we do create favorites, we are liking a status, okay? Then I'll continue. What I need to do is to print the tweet ID that has been favorited or that has been liked. So I'll do print tweet ID. Then the next thing I need to do is to handle errors, and these are rate limit errors because we are streaming our API. So we need to be able to catch any errors whenever we get disconnected. Okay, to do that, I'll add a new method, and that is on error. And then here I'll add if status code is equals to 420, then return false. Let me show you in the Tweepy documentation how this error was handled. It's the same way that I've implemented it. You can see error handling. Yes, you can see it here. Okay, exactly the way they've handled. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do, I'll call the base command. So it has a few methods that can be overridden, but only the handle method must be implemented. I'm going to implement the handle method, and I'll do handle self args quags. Okay. And then I'm going to implement a try except block, and to do that, I'll do try. I'll add a new variable filter words, and I'm going to get the filter words from tweet lookup word dot objects dot values list. And then I only have one field in the values in the tweet lookup word table, and it's keyword. You can confirm by checking the models.py file. Okay, only one keyword. And since it's a query set, I'm going to set it to true. And then I'm going to join multiple filter words, and to do that, I'll do join filter words. Then I'll add another variable filter location, and with filter location, I'll check the tweet lookup coordinates table. Dot values lists, and then this one has only one field value, and I'll have it as flat true since it's a query set from our Postgres table. And then if we have multiple locations, so I'll be able to also join them. Okay, I'll do float so for lock in filter location, and then I'm going to make sure I get all the location, and to do that I'll do float core so I'll loop through filter location, for core in lock dot split, so I'll split the lists, and to split the list I'll check any commas, and then the next thing I'm going to do is to authenticate the user. This is the person with the Twitter credentials that was used to sign in onto the Twitter developer portal. Okay, so I'm getting authentication so that I can get access to the Twitter API. The next thing I'm going to do is to create an instance of our class, my stream listener, to inherit methods and objects from tweepy.streamListener. Okay, so stream listener my stream listener. Okay, and then we need an API to stream. So once we have an API and a status listener, we can create our stream object, and to do that I'll do, this is our stream object, tweepy dot stream. I'll authenticate auth API dot auth, and then listener stream listener, and then tweet mode will be extended. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to filter the stream. Okay, so we have a number of Twitter streams available through Tweepy, and in most cases we use filter the user stream and the site stream. Okay, so but for us, in our case, we are going to use the filter because we want to filter keywords. Okay, so I'll do stream dot filter, then I'll do track filter words. So I want to filter these words. Okay, and also locations, so I'll do filter words, which is optional. Okay, locations, filter locations. So if I want to filter the tweets that have been geocoded, okay, filter location. Okay, what we have here. And then lastly, it's a try except block. So I'll do except exception as E, and then I'll print the error. Okay, so that's all. I'll save everything, save all. What I need to do, I need to update the keyword in the in my database, that is in the tweet lookup word database table. So I can see I need to jump in to the LR bot folder so that I can run Django management. So I'll do python manage.py run server. And then I'll do command. Okay, and then I'll just add admin. I'm going to the tweet lookup words. This is the table that has good words, or the words that I want to see. So I'll delete whatever that was there, and I'll add a new word. I'll just say canyon. Okay, I hope I can get Grand Canyon or Yosemite. Okay, I'll have it as canyon. Then I'm going to, first of all, before that, I'll go to the tweet lookup bad words. Let me see. Okay, we have bad words like poor. That is okay. Another bad word is bad. Okay, another bad word is swear. Okay, so I don't want those words to appear in any tweet that I'm going to like. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to Control C to stop my server, and then I'm going to run python manage.py like tweets. Okay. No module named type shed. Where is type shed? Where is type shed? I need to check where this error is coming from. Oh yeah, the top here. I need to save all. Then I need to run it again. This is supposed to be self in small. Save all. So make sure you make that change. Okay, I'm going to run my bot. Python manage.py like tweets. So it's connected to the Twitter API. Remember this method here. So whenever we connect to the Twitter API, this will run. It will be posted on our console. So let's see how many tweets we're going to get. Okay, so I just want to see if if my bot will be able to like tweets with the keyword canyon. Okay, so it's only seeing one. Let's see if we have only one, then we'll change. So I'll refresh. Okay, so this is the only one that came with canyon, King Canyon. Okay, let me update again to Grand Canyon, our tweet lookup words. I'll run my project again, and to do that, I'll do python manage.py run server, and then I'm going to open my Django. Okay, I'll do admin, and then I'm going to add tweet lookup words. I'm going to add Grand Canyon. Okay, let's see that. Let's see if we can get that. Okay, I'm going to interrupt my server, and I'll run my bot again, python manage.py like tweets. Okay, so I can see one tweet has been liked. Let me go and check. I'll do a refresh. Okay, so you can see, reminds me of the skywalk at the Grand Canyon. That's how the like tweets bot works. So see you in the next video, where I'm going to show you how to retweet tweets that have a certain keyword. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a bot that retweets tweets that meet a certain condition. So the bot will check the tweet lookup word table in Postgres to see if there are any words, any keywords that it needs to look for when streaming the Twitter API. So to do that, I'm going to create a new command here, and I'll name it as retweet tweets.py. And then I'm going to import the base command, which is basically the class from which all management commands ultimately derive. I'll do from Django.core.management.base import base command. And then I'm going to import Tweepy, which is an easy to use Python library for accessing the Twitter API. So I'll do import Tweepy. And then I'm going to import my database tables from Postgres, and I'll do from bot.models import tweet lookup coordinates, tweet lookup word, and tweet lookup bad word. So it's going to check for bad words, for good words to look out for, and for the bad words that they are not supposed to appear in a tweet. And if they are geocoded, if the tweets are geocoded, we can also be able to get those tweets by filtering our tweets. We can be able to get them. Okay. Then I also need to bring almost similar to what I did with the like tweets bot. So I'm going to bring authentication. I'm going to import authentication, import get auth API, and then I'm going to create my class, my stream listener. And of course, it's going to be an instance of tweepy.stream. And it establishes a streaming session and routes messages to stream listener instance. So I'll do tweepy.stream listener. And then I'm going to initialize attributes and methods of our class, my stream listener. And to do that, I'll do define init self and then I'm going to authenticate the user, and to do that I'll do self.api get auth API. This is going to be empty, and then I'll remove that. Okay. Then I'm going to create a new variable, and I'm going to bind it. So it will be self.badwords, and then so it will store a list of all the bad words. So it will be tweet lookup bad word. I'm going to check the tweet lookup bad word table, and I'll get all the objects values lists. Then that table has only one field, the keyword field. And of course, since it's a query set, I'm going to set it to flat true. Okay. I'll go and check my models for tweet lookup bad words. Tweet lookup bad word keyword. It has the keyword field. Okay. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to initialize the constructor so that we can inherit attributes and methods from my stream listener class. So I'll bring this down. I'll bring it here. Then I'll move this up. I'll have it as my stream listener. That's my class, my stream listener. And then I'm going to initialize it. Okay, now that's done. I'm going to add a method on connect. It's a Tweepy method. And this method is called after successfully connecting to the streaming API. So once we connect to a Twitter API, then this method will be called. And I want to print on my console, I want to print that I've connected to the Twitter API. I'll have it as connected to Twitter API. Okay. Then I'll add the second method on status, and this is a method that is called when a status is received. So I'll have it as on status self, and here it will be tweet. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to store tweet IDs. So I'll do tweet ID. I'll store tweet ID. Okay. So it will be tweet.id. And then remember in the last bot, the like tweets bot, I told you that when we have truncated as true, it means we have a tweet that has more than 140 characters. Okay, so if tweet.truncated is true, then tweet text is equals to tweet.extended. So this is a Tweepy method. So okay, tweet. And I'm going to get full text, which is an object from the Twitter JSON. You can check that from the Twitter API. And then if it's not, so I'll do if else. If it's not truncated, then I'll just get the text. So it will be tweet.text. Then if tweet is not a retweet, okay, so if not has attribute. So if this is how to check if it's already retweeted or it's just a tweet. So retweeted status. So if it's not retweeted, then I'm going to loop through for bad word. So for bad word in self dot bad words, then if bad word in tweet text. Okay, so if there's any bad word in tweet text, then we're going to break, okay, the loop. Otherwise, else we're going to retweet. So I'll authenticate the user, API get auth, and then the response. So response is going to be API dot retweet. So you can check this method in Tweepy. This is a method in Tweepy where we do API dot retweet. I'm going to get the tweet ID. And then I'm going to print the tweet ID. The next thing I need to do is to do error handling, and specifically error with 420 code. You'll find this in the Tweepy documentation, as I had showed you in the previous class where I was showing you how to create the like tweets bot. Okay, so self status code. So I need to get the status code, and the if status code is equals to 420, then return false. Okay, then I need to implement my base command. So class command base command. So it has a few methods that can be overridden, but only the handle method must be implemented. Okay, so I'm going to implement the handle method. So I'll do self and then I'm going to implement a try except block for any errors. I will add the variable filter words, and I will look up the tweet lookup word table for the good words. Okay, so tweet lookup word dot objects dot values list, and then keyword and then flat true, since it's a query set, flat true. And then I'm going to join together the filter words. So I'll do filter words. I'm going to join them together. Dot join filter words. Then I'm also going to check location. So I'll filter location, and I'll check tweet lookup coordinates table dot objects dot values lists value flat true, since it's a query set. Okay, then I'll get filter location, float core. Okay, so I'm going to loop through the filter location variable for all location coordinates. So in filter location, for core in lock dot split. Then I'm going to authenticate the user, and I'll do that by doing get auth API. And then I'm going to create an instance of our class, my stream listener, to inherit methods and objects from tweepy.streamListener. And to do that, I'll do stream listener is equals to my stream listener. We need an API to stream, and once we have an API and a status listener, we can create our stream object. And to do that, I'll do stream, that's our stream object. So tweepy.stream, I'll add authentication, so auth is equals to api.auth, and then listener is equals to stream listener, and then tweet mode is equals to extended. Then so we have a number of Twitter streams. that are available through Tweepy. So in most cases, we'll use filter, we'll use stream and side stream. So in our case, we are going to use filter, and I'll do stream dot filter track. I'm going to filter the word, so I'll do filter words, and then locations, filter, location. Okay, then I'm going to do except, so try except, so that I can print the exception. If there's any exception, I'll have that printed out, so I'll do print E. Okay, so once that is done, I'll do file, save all. So I'm going back to my Twitter profile. You can see there's no retweets. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to run my server again. That is my Django app, and I'll do Python manage.py run server, so that I can update my keywords. Okay, then I'm going to admin, and then I'll update my words here. So I'll have it as, I'll delete what we have here, and I'll have Yosemite. So let's see if there's any tweet with the keyword Yosemite. Then I'm going to retweet it, and then I'm going to interrupt my server, and I'll run Python manage.py retweet tweets. Okay, let's see how it's going to work. So it's connected to Twitter API. Yeah, connected to Twitter API. This is the text here. So it'll give it a bit of time to do the streaming, and then now we'll be able to see what my profile will retweet. Okay, so you can see this tweet ID. I'm going to check if there's any retweets on my profile, and to do that, I'll go. You can see none for now, so I'm going to do a refresh. So you can see, okay, so you can see this one, Yosemite. Okay, so that's all on how to create a bot that retweets tweets that have certain keywords. See you in the next video, where I'm going to show you how to send a welcome message when a new person follows you on Twitter. In this video, I'm going to show you how to send a welcome message to a new follower on Twitter. So what I'll do, I'll add a new file, and I'll name it as send DM to new follower .py. Okay, so that's our third bot. And first thing I'm going to do is to import the base command, which is the base class from which all management commands derive. So I'll do from django.co.management.base import base command. Okay, then I'm going to import our database table. So I'll do from bot dot models import last follower and outbound direct message. So here we are not doing any streaming command, so we are just importing our database tables. Then the next thing is from bot.utils import authentication, and then class command base command, and then I'm going to implement the base command, and to do that I'll do class command base command. So remember, base command has a few methods that can be overridden, but only the handle method must be implemented. Okay, then I'll do define handle. This is the actual logic of the command. I'll do self args and then I'll implement a try except block for any errors, and then I'll authenticate the user. I'll do API get auth API. Then I'm going to retrieve the last follower from our database. So I need to know, I don't want to send a welcome message to people I've been friends with or people who followed me a long time ago. So I just need to know the last follower so that any new follower after the last follower will get the message. To do that, I'll do last follower ID. So I'll add a new variable, last follower ID, and then I'll go and look up the last follower table. So last follower dot objects dot get, okay, last follower ID. So last follower ID, I'm going to get the last follower ID. Then I'm going to retrieve the welcome message from the database, and that's from the outbound direct message table. This is the table when you go to models, outbound direct message, okay? This table here, this model. So outbound direct message dot objects dot get message, and then I'm going to loop through followers. So for follower in API dot followers, so this is a Tweepy method. So dot followers ID, and then if follower is equals to last follower ID, then I'm going to break. So I'm not supposed to send a message to someone who has the last follower ID. Okay, then else API dot send direct message. Okay, follower and message. Okay, then I'll do except, because I'm doing a try except block. So except last follower, except when last follower does not exist, then I need to authenticate user, get auth API. And then I need to set last follower ID to 0. So I'll do last follower ID is equals to API dot followers IDs. Okay, then I need to create the last follower in the database. Last follower dot objects dot create last follower ID. Okay. Except exception as E, print E. So basically what happens is that for this bot, it will check if there's no last follower in the database. For the first run, it will just get the last follower ID. And then the second run, that's when now it will send the messages, okay? Because now it will have details about the last follower, okay? Then I'm going to save. I'll click save all, and then I'm going to run the server, python manage.py run server. And then I'll go to my server. Can actually just refresh. Instead of starting afresh, I'll just refresh my dashboard, my Django dashboard, and then I'll go to direct message, no direct message. Here I'll do thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. And then I'll save it to our Postgres database, the outbound direct messages database. And then, yes, that's all. I'm going to check our database table. That is the last follower table. I want to see if there's any follower in that table. I'll open my pgadmin. Here is my pgadmin, so I'll just go and check. Here is my pgadmin, so I'm going to check the LR bot. Remember, this is the database settings that you entered in the settings.py file. So I'm going to check my last follower table. Here it is. Let me see if there's any person saved here. It's empty. So let me run my bot for the first time. I'm going to Control-C to interrupt my server. And then the next thing I'm going to do is to run python manage.py send dm to new follower. Okay, so let's see. Okay, it has run the first time. Let me check my pgadmin. I'll do a refresh. I'll just do view all rows. Okay, so I have the ID for last follower. Then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to, from my accounts, I have different accounts, so I'm going to follow. I'm going to follow this account. So I'm going to follow this account. Where is it? I'm going to follow this account, and then I'm going to send. Then I'm going to send. Once I do a follow, I'm going to see if I'm going to receive a message from this account. Okay, so I'll just sign out. and then I'll sign in. And then I'll enter my password. I'm going to follow. Okay. And then I'll do a follow. Okay, now I'm following that account. I'm following this account. Okay, so I want to see if I'll get a message from a welcome message. I want to see if I'll get a welcome message. I'm going to run my my bot again. So python manage.py send DM to new follower. Okay, I'm going to refresh. You can even see it's already appearing here. Okay, warm. It was blue, so you can see here under messages. Okay, so you can see this thank you for the follow, and it's coming from this account. So I'll log out from this account. So I can even send that account a message. I'll say, welcome. It's my pleasure. Okay. I'll send that to that account. Then I'm going to log out. And I'll log into Basscode. I need to sign in. Use phone or email. Okay. So the account was Basscode. Okay, so I've managed to get a few followers. Let's see, we have about 2. Okay, from my 2 other accounts, I managed to get 2 followers. And I'm going to run the command again to see if I'm going to be able to send them a welcome message. Okay, so and to do that, I'll run python manage.py send DM to new follower. Okay, and I'm going to see if there's any message. Okay, you can see thank you for the follow, thank you for the follow. This is what we set out in the outbound message. Let me just run the outbound message again. Python manage.py python manage.py run server. Okay, and then I'll click that so that I see. I'll just refresh the old one. I see the message that you can see thank you for the follow. Okay, so that's it. That's how you send a welcome message to a new follower on Twitter. See you in the next video, where I'm going to show you how to save all inbound direct messages to your Postgres database. In this video, I'm going to show you how to save inbound direct messages in your Postgres database. And to do that, I'm going to add a new command here. So new file, save inbound direct messages. Okay, and to do that, I'm going to import our base command. Remember, our base command is just the base class from which all management commands are derived from. So from Django.co.management.base, import base command, and then I'm going to import Tweepy. Remember, Tweepy gives us an easy to use Python library for accessing the Twitter API. So import Tweepy, and then I'm going to import from Django from django.db.models, I'm going to import max. Okay, then so that's a function for getting maximum, and then I'm going to import from bot.models. I'm going to import inbound direct message. This is this table here, from models inbound direct message. Okay, then the next thing I need to import is authentication. So import bot.utils, import get auth, from bot.utils, from bot.utils import get auth API, and then I'm also going to import date and time so that I can get the date and time when a message was sent. So import date time as DT, and then I'm going to convert timestamp to date, and to do that I'll do convert timestamp to date, and then TS, because I'll pass TS. Okay, so it's integer dot split. Okay, so this is how to convert timestamp to date, and then I'll divide by 1,000, then return dt dot date time dot from timestamp. Okay, so okay, dot from timestamp. Okay, TS. Okay, then I need to convert date to timestamp, and to do that I'll do define convert date to timestamp, date objects, then I'll return integer, so return int date obj dot timestamp. Okay, and then I'm going to call my command, my base command, and then I'm going to do the actual logic of the command that is implementing the handle. So define handle self args quags. I'll implement a try except block, and to do that I'll do try. So if there's any error in this code, this block will be able to see the error. So I'll do timestamp, and to get the timestamp I'm going to get it from the inbound direct message dot objects dot aggregate, and then I'll add the max function sent on. So like the maximum time a message was sent on. Okay, so I'll show you from the models. From the models, you'll see sent on. So the maximum time, this is what we are getting here. So that's the last timestamp when a message was downloaded. So we don't want to keep on downloading messages. We need to know when the last message was downloaded, and we'll have it here in the last timestamp. Then if last timestamp, if that's the if we get the last timestamp, then last timestamp is equals to last timestamp dot get sent on max. Okay, I'll have it this way. Okay, then I'm going to initialize an empty Python list, and I'll do that by doing object list. And then I'm going to authenticate the user by doing get auth API. And then I'll have a Twitter ID object for direct messages. Okay, so I need to get the receiver ID. So the person receiving the message, so that is api.me. I'm the one receiving the message. Okay, so .id. Okay, so that's a Tweepy method. Then I'm going to loop through all messages for the authenticated user, and to do that, I'll do for message in Tweepy .cursor API. This is a Tweepy method, so API.list direct messages .items. Okay, then if message create. Okay, so this is message create is actually a Twitter JSON type, okay, for messages. Okay, so if there's a new message, so if message create, so you need to get the target, and then the recipient ID, the person receiving the direct message. So recipient ID should be equal to receiver ID. Okay, so basically we are accessing the Twitter API, and we are saying it should be equal to receiver ID, which is a Tweepy method, and then sent on. To get the sent on values, so I'm going to convert timestamp to date because it comes in terms of timestamp. So convert timestamp to date, and then it's going to be message dot created timestamp. If they're not timestamp, so I'll still be able to run and download the messages with my bot. So if last timestamp is none, or last timestamp is not none, and sent on is greater than last timestamp. Okay, We're going to retrieve the sender name. So sender will be API.getUser. So this is a Tweepy method, and we'll typecast it to string. So message.message create. Sender ID, so I need to get the sender ID, and then message create. Okay, dot screen name, so I need to get the screen name as sender. Okay, then I'll also retrieve the message, and I'll retrieve it as message.message create. There's an error somewhere. Yeah, I need to add another bracket there. So message.message create, and then I'll have it. I'll get the message data object. So message data, and the text. Okay, I'm going to add sender name, message, and date to object list that I had initialized earlier. So I'll do object lists dot append inbound direct message. So I'm going to append the sender, the message. So here is our MSG, the message, and lastly sent on. And then if not, then we'll break our if else statement. Break. I'm going to insert the objects into the database, that is the sender, message, and sent on. I'm going to insert it into a database, and to do that, I will type inbound direct message dot objects dot bulk create, and then of course my list, object list, and then I'm going to, since it's a try except block, I'm going to do exception as E, and then I'm going to print the exception, print E. Okay, I'm going to save. The next thing I'm going to do is to run this command. Okay, first of all, I'm going to check my inbound direct message database to see if there's any data right now. Inbound direct message, I'll do view all rows, should be empty. It's empty now. I'm going to run it. Of course, I've saved, so I'll interrupt the server, and then I'll run the command python manage.py save inbound DMs. Okay, there's an error, has no attributes command, has no attribute command, so I need to find out where the problem is. Where is it? Return bot.manage.save has no attribute command. Okay, let me find out where the error is. Yeah, here, command. I'll save all. I'll run again. Okay, so I can see this is successful. So I'll go and check. I'll go and check my pgadmin. I'll do view all rows. Okay, you can see the messages have come in. If I go back to my profile, you'll be able to see these two. Okay, just to confirm, these are the senders, and these are the messages that the other people, the senders, sent via direct message. That is all on how to create a bot that saves inbound direct messages from Twitter to a Postgres database table. See you in the next video. In this chapter, I'll show you how to build bots using Tweepy methods. I'll show you how to build a like bot, a retweet tweet bot, how to send a welcome message to a new follower, and how to download direct messages to your Postgres database. In this video, I'm going to show you how to apply for an account on the Twitter developer portal. Make sure you've signed up on Twitter. Twitter is a free social media system, so you can just go and register on Twitter and then search for Twitter developer portal, and then just come here to use cases. So this is the landing page for the Twitter developer portal. So what I'm going to do, I'll just click apply, and then here I'll click apply for a developer account, and then here I'll select hobbyist, and then I'll click explore the API, and then I'll click get started. Okay, then I need to fill in these details. For example, add email address. So I need to add email address here. And then I'll type in the email address is bascodeyusuf@gmail.com. Okay, and then I'll click next. Of course, I need to check a code. I'll copy this code. I'll enter the code here, and then I'll click verify. Okay, so my account has been verified. I'll go back and refresh. It should reflect here. Okay, I'll just begin again. Okay, my email address has already picked. Of course, this is an individual account. I'm not taking a team account. And then what would you like us to call you? I'll say Bascod Yusuf. And then which country do you live in? I'll say Kenya. What's your current coding skill level? Highly experienced. And then I'll click next. Okay, then here is a short questionnaire that I need to fill so that I can be verified. Okay, so in English, please describe how you plan to use Twitter data and or APIs. The more detailed the response, the easier it is to review and approve. Okay, so I want to use Twitter API to check sentiments about travel destinations in different countries so that I can plan my trips, the views from different people on Twitter will help me prioritize the destinations that I need to visit first. Okay, the destinations that I need to visit first. Okay, to prioritize and budget for the destinations that I need to visit first. Okay. The specifics. Please answer each of the following with as much detail and accuracy as possible. Failure to do so could result in delays to your access to Twitter developer platform or rejected applications. Are you planning to analyze Twitter data? Of course, yes. Please describe, of course. I plan to analyze 40 tweets based on a specific keyword. Okay, that keyword can be the keyword will be the name of the destination and the keyword will be the name of the destination. Yeah. Okay. Will your app use tweet, retweet, like, follow, or direct message? Okay, no, I'll say no. Do you plan to display tweets or aggregate data about Twitter content outside Twitter? I'll say no. I'll say no, and then I'll click next. Okay, and then I'll click next. Okay, and then here I'll accept, and then I'll submit my application. Okay, so I just need to verify my email. Confirm your email. Yay, and I'm in. So that's how you create Twitter developer account. See you in the next video, where I'm going to show you how to create apps and then how to generate API keys so that we can use it in our bot. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create projects and apps on the Twitter developer dashboard. So what you do, you just come here and click create project. I'll just name it as LR bot. And then I'll select doing academic research, exploring the API. I'll then click next. An app to check for tour destinations. And then I'll go to the app setup. App name, I'll also just say LR bot, and then I'll press next. Okay, LR tour bot. Okay, so I'll press next. So we have our app created. Now the next thing that I need API key, I need API key secret, I need access token, I need access token secret. Okay, so and I need to add them on my project, and to do that I'll come here to settings.py. I need to add the API key, so I'll type API key. And then I need to add API key secret, API key secret. And then I need to get access token. I'm getting all this from our app on the Twitter developer platform. And then the next thing I need to get is access token secret. Access token secret. I'll go back to my app. So this is the API key. I'm going to copy that and I'll paste it here in the settings.py file. And then the next one that I need to grab is the API secret key. And I'll post it here. And then I need the access token. And to get the access token, I need to go to app settings. So I'll go to app settings. And then I'll go for app permissions. I'll just read, write, and direct message. And then I'll go here to keys and tokens. And then I'll come here to access token and secret. And then I'll click generate. So here is the access token. I'm going to copy the access token. And then I'll also get the access token secret. So here's the access token secret. I'll post them here. Yes, I've saved them. So that's all. So this has been saved on my Twitter developer account. I'll go back to my project and I'll click File, Save All. Okay, now I have the credentials to access the Twitter API. That's all. See you in the next video where I'll show you how to create authentication to access our Twitter developer platform or our Twitter API from our bot. In the last video, I showed you how to get the API key, API secret key, access token and access token secret from the Twitter developer platform. Now we need a way to handle authentication so that we can access the Twitter API via Tweepy. That is the Tweepy library. And to do that, I'm going to go to utils. So I'll create a new file here under bot. I'll create a file and I'll name it as utils.py. And then I'm going to import Tweepy. Tweepy is the library that we use for accessing Twitter API. Then I'll go to I'll import settings. That is from our Django project. I'll import settings. So I'm going to import configuration from this file, settings.py. Okay. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to create a function that will handle authentication. So I'll do define get auth API, and then I'll have this variable API key in small letters. So it will be settings.api key. I'm getting the API key. Settings.api key. So remember, when you go back to settings.py API key, so we are getting this value. The next variable is going to be API secret key. And then it will be settings.api key secret. And then access token. It will be settings.access token. and then access token secret. Is going to be settings dot access token secret. Okay, so I'll just go back to check this last one, access token secret. This is the value we are getting. Okay, so we've managed to get all values: API key secret, access token secret. All of them, I've added them to this file. Okay, I'll go ahead and do authentication. Authentication will be tweepy.auth handler. So this is a Tweepy method, auth handler. When you go to Tweepy, you can go to the Tweepy library. And when you go to the Tweepy library, when you just go through the authentication tutorial, and you'll see we have this method, okay? Tweepy.auth handler. And here I'm going to set our API key. Remember, we have our API key value now with this variable. So API key and API key secret. And then authentication dot set access token. Okay, so these are Tweepy methods. So access token is equals to access token secret, and then API is equals to Tweepy dot API authentication wait on rate limit. So rate limits, this is the amount of data that can be processed at a time. I believe it's around every 15 minutes, a timeout of every 15 minutes for the Twitter API. Wait on rate limit, notify to true, so that we get notified whenever we have a rate limit, and then I'll return API. So you're basically wondering, what is the purpose of this function? The purpose of this function is to authenticate my user account. That is the Twitter account that I used to create the Twitter developer account. And anytime I want to access direct messages, it's going to authenticate my Twitter account. Okay, remember, I have my API key. All these settings that we have here, they're being used to authenticate my account. So we are going to use it more in the next videos, where I'm going to show you how to create now the bot for liking tweets, the bot for retweeting tweets, and also that ability to send welcome messages, and also the ability to download direct messages using our bot. So see you in the next video.